Solid second quarter out this morning from Apollo Global Management. The alternative asset manager saw record fee-related earnings and strength in its key credit business. Apollo also continues its year of aggressive deal-making, announcing a $7.5 billion deal for a large chunk of assets from telecom Lumen Technologies. I spoke to Apollo Global Management co-president and CIO Jim Zelter earlier today. Take a listen.
It was a terrific quarter. I think if you look at our full announcement and the report, you'll see that not only do we execute across the business in terms of very, very strong returns, exceptional deployment, and exceptional fundraising from all of our channels, a lot of strategic transactions were done in the quarter. We grew some origination platforms with our purchase and our involvement with Victory Park. And at the firm level, what we're doing in terms of Motive, in terms of fintech partnership, really growing that front end and really bringing technology throughout the whole firm. What we're doing with Foundation Homes over in the UK in terms of buy-to-let financing. So really on the execution front, great strides. And on the strategy front, growth and very thoughtful use of our balance sheet for acquisitions. So really a two-pronged attack on the opportunity in the marketplace.
Where are you finding opportunities right now? And I ask that because valuations are at record highs, but seemingly once a week or multiple times a week, Apollo's out there making pretty big deals.
Well, you're right. And I think that we have been able to find areas. I mean, certainly if you look at the marketplace, valuations are quite strong, but the economy's strong. It's not a surprise. The economic numbers that are coming through are quite strong. But what we've done is we've just gone back to our original game plan, and even the transaction we announced yesterday with Lumen Technologies, really using our skills of corporate carve-outs and structuring to do it in a way that's going to help build and rebuild the digital divide in America. So Lumen, the old CenturyLink, we bought a carve-out of 6.5 million customers across the Midwest and the East and the Southeast. It will really enable us to put a lot of CapEx in that business and take it from a old copper business to a digital fiber network today. So using our skills in that, obviously our pending acquisition of Yahoo Finance we're quite excited about, but then a variety of other acquisitions in the quarter that we found. So again, using the time-tested strategy of value, complexity, corporate carve-outs, and being thoughtful about how we position our company towards value but growth, which we've been able to find a path to do so.
And since you mentioned it should be noted that Apollo Global Management is in the process of acquiring Verizon Media, which is Yahoo Finance's parent company. Jim, since you mentioned it, is that deal still on track to close soon?
Very much so. Very much so. Looking forward to it. Tremendous workings between two organizations. But yes, all in line and all on pace as projected.
What's your vision for those series of assets?
Well, we have a variety. Certainly those assets in particular are in our private equity business, which has really been the traditional hallmark of the firm and really embeds in our DNA. But certainly we believe that those are tremendous assets in terms of the legacy brand, the legacy identity, and infusing CapEx, infusing management with the existing team, but also some new folks. We believe we can create a tremendous amount of value for our investors, which are the pension funds and endowments of America and around the globe. So a time-tested strategy. We're confident that when you buy landmark assets like that, that the performance will come through. So that's just one of many. Certainly we're very active in the whole home building and what's going on with the building of homes in America, but also the financing of homes in America. The whole household formation, that's a big theme for us these days. Certainly the whole digital in terms of not only what we've done yesterday with Lumen, but First Digital in terms of really creating more of an infrastructure in the West on that area. So from our perspective, the ability for us to find areas of growth. Yes, the economy is growing. Yes, technology is taking a bigger part of our overall economy, but we're doing it with the Apollo playbook in hand. And also, I would also mention what we did with Motive. That was not only to help us identify and think about investments in the fintech space for our funds, but really embed financial technology throughout the firm and everything we do. Apollo is a great financial services investor. We have for a couple of decades, 3 decades. But at the same time, we need to make sure that we understand what's going on with the democratization of finance, how the markets are changing. And so by doing what we did with Motive in terms of that strategic JV, really in terms of our fundraising, our product creation, our distribution, but also our insurance businesses and our regular credit businesses, we believe there's a lot that they can add to our playbook and our toolbox.
Jim, is Apollo still long the economic recovery? I'm sure you've seen the stories, hopefully on Yahoo Finance, peak economic growth, earnings growth starting to slow down a little bit in the back half of the year. Lots of concerns about the Delta variant and its impact on the economy. How do you see it?
Well, we are long the U.S. and we are long global corporate business and the consumer. In the U.S., I'll just add it was a exceptional quarter for the economy. The macro data continues to improve, and if you look at where the consumer is, it's in strong shape. So, the big question in the macro right now is the 7 million jobs, and the Fed has convinced folks that they have a view that this is really a temporary inflation blip to the economy. But we are long the U.S. and we are long the consumer, and we feel very good about the high quality businesses that we have backed and have invested in equity and in debt across our platform.
Apollo is getting ready to launch a new fund in 2022. Tell us about that.
Well, certainly on the back of what we announced yesterday in terms of our flagship fund 9, a $25 billion fund, with the acquisition yesterday, which we announced of Lumen, that is going to put us around 73% committed or invested. And that's a number that we would think that lead us to believe that in the first half of 2022, we will be, launching Fund 10 to our institutional investors, and don't have a specific date, but in the first part of the year.
Fair enough. And lastly, before we let you go, Apollo has played a big role in many SPACs that have come to market. How do you see that market evolving over the next 12 months?
Well, you're right. We have found ourselves to be a key player in being a sponsor, being a provider of capital on the equity side, and also, selling businesses to SPACs as well. So in the complex ecosystem, we've had a seat at every table. It's going to continue to refine. It's going to continue to evolve. It is a tool for the future, no doubt. And from our perspective, our ability to be able to add value at each point along the ecosystem, I continue to believe we'll still sell companies to SPACs. I believe we'll still provide, pipe capital and equity capital and debt capital to competitor SPACs. But there will be a shakeout, and as there has been going on in the last couple of months amongst the pipe market and the equity side. But in the refinement and the evolution of that product, we will continue to be a significant player.